It's Friday. It's an interesting Friday feeling. I love Fridays. And I don't know. I get excited when I know I have the weekend and I can just wake up and be free to do what I want. So that's always exciting. I do have a ton of work that I have to complete today. So I can go into the weekend feeling good and hopefully not have to log in. So we'll see what happens. Let's hope there's nothing new assigned to me today and I can just get everything done so I can take the weekend off work and really just do all my favorite things, which is live streaming, creating, being with my family, getting things done, working on little projects. What do you like doing on the weekend? What's your favorite thing? I would love to hear it. This week I've jumped on live every day, Monday to Friday at this time, right before I start work, and it's been wonderful. I've connected with really cool people, some OGs, some people that I'm quite familiar with, and some new ones as well, sharing insights. We were talking briefly about, challenges we've gone through in the past, and then the lessons and insights that came out of it, or the new perspectives. And I really like that subject matter. I like the idea of taking something that was once really hard and kind of extracting the lesson from it and then sharing it with others. I think it's great to learn from each other. And I think it's also inspiring at a time when things can feel very hopeless or in shambles, or maybe a struggle for money, or a struggle what to do next, or your workload is too hard, or relationships are challenging. There's so many layers to life. So it's good to find hope and faith. But more importantly than hope and faith, I'm realizing, is a knowing. You have to just know that you will get through it. You have to trust that the answers are within you and they will reveal themselves, and just keep moving forward. Small, actionable steps forward. That's really all it takes. Maybe it's not as complicated as we think. Sometimes we complicate our own lives. Good morning, my name is Robin, reporting live from Ontario, Canada. It's Friday. How do you feel this Friday? I hope you're feeling well. Please do drop it in the chat. Whatever you'd like to talk about. Ideally, this live stream is sharing what, hey Lauren. Lauren says, hi, my name is Robin, reporting live from Ontario, Canada at 7:43 in the morning. If you're comfortable sharing in the chat, let's talk about either a challenge that you're going through that we can reframe it and find the lesson, or hello, Thal, I'm glad you're here. Or we were talking this week, I've done live streams every day this week at this time. We were talking about challenges that we went through, something that felt really terrible at the time, and then we realized the lesson out of it. Good morning, Sean. I'm glad you're here. Has there been a challenge in your life that in the moment you were in it was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever, just to later on find out that it was a blessing in disguise? Or maybe you learned something so valuable from that challenge that it changed your perspective? I'm curious. I think that happens a lot more than we think. But it is up to us to kind of revisit that challenge and see what we can learn from it, how we can improve, what we could have done differently, or what we learned going forward about that. I think that reflecting on our own lives and the things that we've gone through and the things we've overcome can help us even in the future, and can help others. So tomorrow morning I'm going to do a live stream as well around 8:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a longer one. The ones I do during the week are quicker because I have a real job. Oh God, drugs, Sean says. Hold on. Sean says drugs, LOL. Well, listen, if that's true, is it something that you learned from, or something that you're still struggling with? Because, everybody's got different struggles and no one's exempt from it. So if it's something that you want to work on, there's resources there. There's ways that you can start setting limits for yourself, help that you can get. There's free help, professional help. If it's something you want to change, you've got the ability to change it. We all have the ability to change it. Lauren says, I'm struggling to leave my house. What do you mean? Are you not in an environment that you want to stay in, or are you moving out of your parents' home, or is it a relationship? I think that that would be tough to be in an environment that you don't want to be in. And I don't wish that on anyone. I do know from personal experience, I was in a work environment once where I end up learning, it was the hardest point for me, but I end up learning the most out of it about myself and about others. So, oh, I just can't leave it. I'm home all day. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like you're struggling to just get out. Then I would start with baby steps. Maybe it doesn't have to be something big. Maybe you can start with something small, just sitting on the front porch or sitting on the back, depending if it's a house or a condo, or just going out the front door and coming back. I don't think that we have to make these grand gestures. Sometimes, like the smallest step, I think it was James Clear that says, like, can you break down your goal into a 2-minute step? What would the first 2 minutes of this goal look like? Maybe it's just putting on your shoes and opening a window and taking a deep breath of outside air. Start small. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Lauren says, my partner works, does the shopping and all the outside stuff. If you have a desire to go outside, one thing I've learned is I find outside very therapeutic. I find it very energizing. So it sounds to me like you're getting a sense that you do need to go out and you want to. And that's a beautiful thing. It means that you've got that awareness, and that's the first step. So good for you. Start small, I would say. Sean says, hey, 9 years sober, but it was definitely a challenge. Yeah, and a good lesson. Absolutely. Wow, congratulations, Sean. 9 years sober. That's incredible. So I imagine you have a lot of lessons that you could share with us. I'm glad you're here. It just goes to show you it's possible, folks. Look, Sean is 9 years sober. Lauren is trying to take a few steps outside of her home. She feels like she's been stuck inside. If you have a desire to change, you can. I spent a week walking to the end of the driveway and back in. That's beautiful, Lauren. That is how you do it. That is a start. Sometimes we kind of poo-poo on these small steps, excuse me. But the smaller steps are the ones that like have the most power. So that's beautiful. The fact that you're starting small, you've walked to the end of the driveway and back, that's beautiful. Hey, we got Blind Ranger here. That's amazing. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad we connected. You were on the last live stream that really, I thought was a beautiful live stream, and I like the idea of us sharing either the challenges that we're in so we could talk them through, but also the challenges that we faced in the past and what lessons came out of it. I think learning from each other is a very beautiful thing, especially on the internet right now when there's a lot of, I call it brain rot. I think that's the term now. I've been calling it brain rot for a while. And the internet will just feed you things to watch, right? It'll just keep feeding things, and then you're scrolling and you're watching all this sort of very fast-paced stuff, and I think it's actually energy draining. So when we can slow down and have these real talks about life together and share and learn from each other, it's actually very beautiful. Let's see. Ho Hum says, I spent 5 years stuck inside with, oh, I'm gonna mispronounce this name. Is it agoraphobia? Only managing to leave on lots of medication and go to the hospital for appointments. Got a huge surgery next month and very nervous. But lately I've been, oh my gosh, I hope that you can share more. That's a perfect person to speak on, because I think that's what we're talking about on this channel with other people right now. A lot of people, I don't even blame some people for being scared to leave the home. At one point, with everything that was going on too, with COVID and the news, like, it just felt really scary, the world. So I feel for people that are having that. Reading and putting myself into the role of a father, managing to go, yeah, to an aquarium. Beautiful. I love that. It sounds to me, folks, like you guys are recognizing that there's something that you want to change, and you're taking small steps towards changing it. I think we should give ourselves more credit for that. Oh, look, Blind Ranger says, I appreciate your kind words. I'm learning to be nicer at 35. Beautiful. Isn't that amazing? It just goes to show you, folks, that we could be any age and change. And that when we get a sense that there's something in our lives that needs to be adjusted, that's perfect. You have everything you need inside of you to figure it out. Ho Hum says, which may sound silly, but it was a ridiculously big step forward. Of course it was. Of course it's a big step forward. I think it's silly for us to assume that we know how other people are feeling and what they're going through. I think it's a safer default bet to just try to empathize. Let's see here. Lauren says, Blind Ranger, ditto. Yeah, see, I'm learning to be kinder at 35. I think we can all use that reminder, folks. I think we can all use a reminder to be a little kinder, try to understand people's perspectives, give people the benefit of the doubt. Let's see. Blind Ranger says, hey, hello, Lauren. I'm from NZ. That's amazing. Okay, can you remind me what NZ is? Is it New Zealand? Because my brain keeps going to New Zealand, but I think it means something else. So can you remind me? Forgive me for being ignorant about the map and geography, but that was like a very weak subject for me, among others. So I want to say it right. I want to, oh, it is New Zealand. Okay, good. Yay. Thank you. Blind Ranger from New Zealand. Imagine. Wow. Hey, Lauren's from London. She says, hi, lovely. I'm in London. See, what a beautiful community we've created here. I love this. I'm going live tomorrow at 8:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know, what time is it for you guys right now in New Zealand and in London? I think London's about 6 hours ahead of us here in Canada. I'm not sure, but I hope to see you tomorrow morning. Ho Hum says, I'm 27 and this all stems from childhood trauma. Oh, yeah, not bleed into others that I have made me bleed in the past and something I am learning. Yeah, I can be quite upset and bitter about my past. Absolutely. Okay, we've got 11:51 and oh yeah, both 11:51. That's amazing. Listen, I think a lot of our trauma comes from childhood. And I think when we're children, we really can't choose what happens to us. But as we become adults, we get to choose how it impacts us and how we respond to it. And if we are going to continue to be a victim of something that happened to us when we were children, or if we're gonna find something in there that we can extract and learn from and reframe it. Reframe it as, this was a shitty thing that happened to me when I was a kid, and I'm going to be different, and I'm gonna use this to empower others or empower myself, and I'm gonna find the lesson from it. That's what served me quite well from things that happened when I was younger, and I reframed it as something that wasn't good for me. And I lived with a lot of fear and worry growing up. So I hear you. We all have different levels of trauma, and I wouldn't want to minimize yours, but I think that it sounds to me like you are at a stage right now where you can use this to empower yourself. Let's see. We got OG's Bun says, hi, lovely. I recently graduated college with a Bachelor of Maps, majoring in maps. Just wondering what your thoughts are on maps, and have you ever read The Forbidden Maps of Time? Thank you. Oh, you know what? I'm not familiar with maps. I apologize. So I would be a terrible person to comment on that. But it sounds to me like you're a very educated person. So good for you. I trust that you'll do really well in life, and I wish I had more feedback. Blind Ranger says, you're awesome, Robin. Thank you. Likewise, I feel the same about you, and I'm so glad we connected here. Amazing. I live in a very small town in Ontario. I'm surrounded by a little subdivision, and then there's farms and forests. So, you know, there might only be a couple traffic lights in my little town, and I would have had no way of communicating with people around the world. So the internet can be used for very beautiful things. Oh, Ho Hum says, I will try to reframe it and empower myself. Thank you. I don't know how to do it. Keep trying. Keep researching it. Keep researching, reframing your thoughts. Think about what you can take. You know, obviously I don't know your experience, but if we can pull from things that happened to us, you know, if it was death or someone lying or someone abusing us, you know, then you can take those emotions and say, okay, I'm going to do the reverse. I'm going to be someone that people can trust. I'm going to be someone that people get compassion from. Keep trying to find the lesson. I promise you will. It takes time, but it's a daily practice. It's a daily practice of the content that you follow, the subjects you're talking about, the people you listen to, the books you read, the thoughts you have. If you ever have any repetitive thoughts that keep going back to those traumas, stop it in your mind and say, no, I'm not going to think about that way anymore. I'm going to think about going forward, who I want to be because of what happened. Who do I want to be now as a grown-up, or as, I'm not sure how old you are. Blind Ranger says, you're awesome, Robin. Thank you. Ho-hum says, thanks, Robin. I really appreciate your kind words. Oh, it's my pleasure. Oh, Matilda says, you're so pretty. Thank you. You know, I know it sounds cheesy, but I do think like all of us, if we can look at the beauty in people, you'll really notice it. You'll notice it in their eyes or what they wear. There's a lot. Okay. Oh, look at this. We've got a book, excuse me. We've got Lauren's recommending a book, which is great. This is something we should be doing too on this channel, recommending books to each other. I love this. Thank you. Lauren says, ho-hum, a good book to read is The Chimp Paradox. Really helps understand your brain and feelings. Beautiful, Lauren. That's wonderful. I'm going to screenshot that book. Folks, if you have access to the library, if you're not in a position to buy a book, and you have access to the library, you can go to your local library and request that book. And if your local library doesn't have it, they do something called an interlibrary loan, and you can ask your librarian to see what other libraries have it and have it shipped to you. So you can read it for free. I can promise you, if there's anything you want to change in your life and you have access to the Wi-Fi or a library, you have the ability to do it. And then if you can afford counseling, of course, seek a professional. But start with what you have. Ho-hum says, well, it was abuse growing up. As my father, I'm treating my son how I wish I was treated. Beautiful. See? It caused agoraphobia and CPTSD, OCD, intrusive thoughts, depression, etc. Wow. Ho-hum says, thank you, Lauren, for that book recommendation. Very kind of you, Lauren. Wow, that sounds like a lot of heavy stuff that you're working with. But one thing I know for sure is there are people that have overcome that slowly, but they've overcome it. So you have to believe it's possible first that you can overcome it. Why not you? Why can't you overcome it? You're already taking the steps. You've already proven that you've learned without even being able to articulate it. The fact that you are treating your son how you wish you were treated means you've already reframed part of it and didn't even realize it. I think you're further along. Let's see. Oh, Matilda has to go. Don't be the reason somebody's insecurities. Yeah, what a beautiful message. Before Matilda had to go, she's saying, don't be a reason that somebody has insecurities, right? Let's spread joy. Ruby Wax has a good book as well, dealing with mental health. Oh, another book recommendation. Let's screenshot that. Oh, look, Ho-hum says therapy in a nutshell is very good. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's amazing. Guys, I'm really glad you're here. It's 7:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I start my real job at 8. Please wish me luck. My real job demands a lot of me. And, you know, I'm going to do my best today so I can have a really beautiful weekend off, hopefully, and we can do live stream together. I have therapy once a week. It's great, Lauren says. Perfect. Guys, we should not be ashamed to use the resources that are out there for us. There is no shame in speaking to a professional. When we need a coach, when we want to work out, we turn to professionals to teach us how to do it properly. We turn to chefs to learn good recipes. Why not turn to people who have learned about the brain and educated themselves to have support? If you can afford it, beautiful. And just know if you can't afford it, there are resources right at your fingertips in this exact moment. It just depends what you choose to spend your time on, right? What do you choose to spend your time on? I wish you an incredible week. Thank you for being here. You really, really uplift me to start my workday. Knowledge is power. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Good luck with your work today. Thanks for your kind words. I'm wishing you all the best. I'm so glad to meet you.